What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Uh, Night stream for the US, morning stream for Europe, afternoon stream for East Asia or Central Asia. Hopefully everybody is doing fine. And if you're in Italy e vuoi che io parlo in italiano, ragazzi, nessun problema. What's up? What's up? We have a big game coming up on the weekend, and we have our probable formation. Okay, so let's get straight to it. Probable Milan 11, 4-2-3-1. Tata Rusano, Kalulu, Gabbia, Tomori, Teo Hernandez. Very interesting information. I like that they are keeping Kjaer. The rotation is Kjaer here. I was thinking Kjaer was going to play, but I guess not. So I'm pretty happy that if this is the formation, I'm pretty happy that Pioli is putting faith into Gabbia. And you see, we needed Gabbia. In the end, we needed Gabbia, and he's coming through. So Pioli, if this is true, Pioli gave him the nod. Gabbia, Tomori, of course, Tomori won't be playing the final against Salzburg, so he can rest. So I guess for the final against Salzburg, it's going to be Gabbia, and Kjaer. Kalulu, I thought he was going to play there. Hernandez, I even would have been like, maybe you can, not play him or something like that. Okay. Tonali Pobega, that's what I thought, because that's was the rotation against last game that we played. I believe it was against Monza. Benacer played, Tonali rotated. So now it's Benacer's turn to rotate, and Benacer is the most important player for the team in this current moment. So keeping him safe from potential injuries for the final against Salzburg is very smart. Tonali Pobega, very good, solid midfield. It's a midfield that maybe lacks a little bit of quality. It won't give you the same quality as Benacer, but it'll give you a lot of fight and spirit. Messias on the right wing. I thought he was going to choose Messias on the right wing. And that is because when Messias plays on the right wing, Kalulu can play up and down. While when Rebic plays on the right wing, Kalulu does not go up and down. So I think against Torino, it is a better bet to have both your fullbacks go up and down in order to squash them. And Messias will defend all the way into the box, and he will attack all the way into the other box. So he's a box-to-box. Box-to-box right winger. The big question, De Catelere. Is he up for it? I'm happy that he is playing. The more he plays, the better. Now, Diaz, I think it's a good idea not to play Diaz in this game. And the reason is because Diaz just came off a strange muscle injury. And it wasn't a serious injury. But we know that these injuries, even though they're not super serious, all of a sudden, I mean, just look at Calabria. I mean, if that is not a lesson, if that is not the lesson right there, Calabria and Florenzi, so I think it is the right thing to do, honestly, to not have Diaz play. And also De Catelere should provide a little bit more balance. And then we have Leao playing. Of course, I would have even sacrificed Leao for this game and kept him on the bench, played Rebic there instead. But, hopefully Leao can get hit, maybe can play 60 minutes, 50 minutes, 55 minutes. If he can already get something done in the first half and a little bit of the second half, you can sub him out and give space to other players. Obviously put Rebic in so he gets a little bit more minutes, a little bit more confidence, a little bit of more game time. And everything has to be done in order to make sure that when we face Salzburg in the next week final, we have our best roster. And this is called management, man management. That is what it's all about. It's all about man management, isn't it? Okay, and then last but not least, Origi. Uh, as far as that we know, Origi is healthy. He's good to play. There's nothing wrong with him. Apparently, when he scored that goal, essentially he knocked his knee. He hurt himself. It was a knee to knee because it was a very tight shot, very tight angle, and he had to put his contort his body in a strange way, in a very tight way. He hit his own knee, and that's why he got hurt. But it wasn't serious. It's just a knock. He just knocked himself. And Origi is the best choice because Giroud, we've seen Giroud. Giroud right now has been playing too much. You can tell the guy has spent all his gas. He needs a little bit of time to relax. He needs a little bit of time to recover, get his muscles to recover, get those fibers to recover. Because right now, when you play game after game after game, all your muscles, all your fibers have little tears and they have little stretches and little tears all over the place. So, get the moment to recover. I hope that you recover him really well. So start Origi for Torino, and then start Giroud for Salzburg, the more experienced striker, the striker that we can send balls in the middle and you score goals. And then second half, last 20 minutes, if you need to bring in Giroud, bring Origi, or last 35 minutes, bring Origi. So the formation looks like it is good. I give it a nice. I give it a nice A. I'll give it an A minus maybe. A minus, because I would have preferred Krunic than De Ketelaere. But De Ketelaere needs to find his form. So 3 topics. Kjaer, rotated. Benacer, rotated. Will De Ketelaere perform? Those are the three topics, right? Kjaer being rotated is an excellent move. So well done to Mr. Pioli. Very smart. Obviously, he's the older guy. He just had the nasty injury. So, yeah, you don't want to risk him too much. And he's very important, especially in a big final like the final next week, where you need experience and you need people that can carry themselves on the field in a very composed manner, like captain, right? And at the San Siro on Wednesday, that's the kind of player that we'll need. On Wednesday, we need to have what we call at Milano la partita perfetta. That's what needs to happen on Wednesday, la partita perfetta. And when Milan finds la partita perfetta, it is absolute magic, and we need that. In order to do that, we have to prepare for it in a very good way. And I think rotating Benacer is absolutely brilliant. Good job, Pioli. Rotating Kjaer, very brilliant. Also because that means that he's putting trust in Gabbia. So extra points there. I would have played Krunic instead of De Ketelaere in this formation because I think Krunic is ready to go. He's there's no cobwebs in his head. There's no questions. He knows what to do. He knows how to do it. He knows how to carry himself on the field. He knows all the movements of the team. He knows what kind of spirit, and he works his ass off for the team. De Ketelaere, this player that still has a lot to give, to show, and this is a good experience for De Ketelaere to bring it. Just bring it. All he has to do is just bring it, man. Just, you know what? Think of Gattuso. De Ketelaere, if you're listening, think of Gattuso. Think of Gattuso. Just work your ass off. Run every time you got to run to a player, run to that player. Press hard, and just don't worry what Like I would fucking tell him at this point. That's what I would do if I was Pioli. I'd get in his head and just say, work hard, press hard. If you press hard, you're going to get to where you need to get faster, even from a technical point of view. He's definitely missing a little bit of that character, right? A little bit of that strong man mentality. Still a little bit kind of boy lost amongst men. But he has it in him. So We just have to wait for it. And tomorrow is a good game against Torino because it's not like, again, I don't want to underestimate Torino, and I'm not saying that we should underestimate Torino. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. But Torino is not like a team that it's not Real Madrid. Okay, guys. Like, what the fuck? What do you want me to tell you? It's not Real Madrid. It's not Barcelona. It's not Inter. It's not Napoli. It's not Man City. It's not Bayern. It's Torino. All right, it's freaking Torino. They're a good team. They give you a fight. The fight is going to be tough. Yeah, the fight is going to be tough. Remember the MMA fight that happened not too long ago? It was Kamaru Usman against the British guy. I can't remember his name. But Kamaru Usman, the best fighter, man. Kamaru Usman is the number one guy in the MMA of that weight category. He's unstoppable. Technically, he's incredible. Physically, he's incredible. IQ out of this world. Kamaru Usman is the absolute number one MMA fighter at that category. Just an incredible fighter. And he fought against this guy, British guy. I can't remember his name. Maybe if you guys saw it, you can remember. But anyway, this was for the belt. And, his opponent wasn't that good. His opponent was not that good. On points, Kamaru Usman was every round was being won by Kamaru Usman. The only thing that was missing was a knockout. On points, it was like a football game. Let's say 6-0. You know when you just dominate a team 6-0, right? When you just score and pile up goals. That's what that fight looked like. But if but then the way that fight ended, at the last literally 20 seconds, Kamaru Usman let his guard down, and the other guy just kicked him straight in the face and knockout. Lost. Kamaru Usman lost the belt. Yeah, imagine if you're winning a game 7-0, and in the last 10 minutes you lose it all. Right? You lose it all. And that's why you can't underestimate anybody. You cannot underestimate Torino. You cannot underestimate the fight they're going to bring. But you got to know you're better than them. You have more quality than them, and whatnot and whatnot. Just play to win, right? Like, we have no excuses to lose. There has to come a certain point when we have to the team has to realize that there are no excuses anymore. In Serie A, you can't, the excuse, and it wasn't an excuse, it was a reality. You can't say they're too young, now they're inexperienced, blah, 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 because the core of this team, the Tonali, Benacer, Tomori, even Kalulu, Teo Hernandez, Leao, Salamakers, Diaz, Messias, Krunic, Kjaer, Mike Magnan, these guys have already made the Serie A their bitch last year. So what they know who they are. They know who they are. And so we have no, it's going to get to a certain point where, yeah, we're playing against Torino, we have to win, period. Win against Torino, we're playing against Salzburg, we have to win. You win. Play against Spezia. Yeah, this team on paper is much weaker than you. You do the things correctly with the right mentality, you win that game. Play against Cremonese, you win that game. Play against Fiorentina, tough match, but you win that game. And you suffer it out, and you win that game. If you want to win trophies, this is what you got to do. Yeah, you got to pile up the points. It's all about points. If you want to win trophies, you got to win. Win, 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 win. One win after the other. That's how you set yourself apart from the pack. And I think that we have a good chance to do that right now until the end of the season, just before the World Cup. Anyway, so this is a good lineup. Good lineup. I'm happy with this lineup. I'm expecting a good game, and I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good. We're gonna have to wait until Sunday I'm very curious to see what happens tomorrow. Lecce Juventus. Um, and it looks like Allegri has pretty much. They just can't sack him before the World Cup because it just doesn't make sense to do that. But it looks like they're going to go for Conte. They're going to go for Conte. Conte's not renewing his contract with what you call it, with Tottenham. And another interesting thing about Conte, I was listening to this guy that is pretty connected in the world of the agents and the lawyers, and he is very familiar with things that are happening in the background. Before in 2016, Conte had an agreement with Milan. Conte had an agreement with Milan, but then the Italian national team came and swooped him away. But Conte, during the season before he stopped, and he was with Juve. During that season, Conte had an agreement with Fassone Mirabelli. Very interesting. And he was going to join Milan, but then Italy came in, and then Italy, with sponsors, was able to pay him what he wanted. At that time, in 2016, I think we were splashing cash like cash didn't matter. So Conte was happy to come to Milan, and they're going to pay him what he wanted. You know, at that time in Milan was a fountain of cash. So I wonder if Conte will ever eventually coach Milan. It could be interesting, but he might go back to Juve. I don't know how that's going to work. I I find it interesting how the Juventus fans now today, their whole thing is we got to let the youngsters play. We got to let the youngsters play. It's like they finally figured it out. They finally figured it out. Do you think we'll buy Diaz? Do we have option to buy? Apparently, we are going to be getting. We're actually look. There's articles that came out today said no, right? In Italian articles that's saying it's not going to happen. And also, there was more articles stating that the Real Madrid wants to use Diaz in other operations. There's article coming that Ancelotti might want to use. They might want to bring him back and test him out or whatever. Is he going to stay at Milan? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I think Diaz is doing really well in his third year. Guys, Diaz in his sooner or later, Diaz is going to become like Papu Gomez. Remember Papu Gomez when he entered that phase of his playing style where he was press resistant, right? Because Papu Gomez was always very talented, but he was kind of easy to stop at a certain point. But then all of a sudden, when he got into his physical maturity, his just mental maturity, his etc., he became unstoppable. You couldn't stop. He would do whatever the fuck he wanted, and you can't stop him. So Diaz is going to eventually become like that because of the kind of player that Diaz is. These shorter players, low center of gravity, but just packed with technique. And the Diaz on the ball is packed with technique. And he has a very powerful sprint also. He has a very powerful sprint on the ball, and it is a weapon that he's been using all these 3 years, and now that weapon is getting him goals, which is quite good. I think Laird is 100% correct when he says if you want to get a player today like Diaz, you're not going to pay 23 million. Not a chance in hell. If you want a player like Diaz today, you have to pay 40 million. You have to pay 35 million. etc., etc. So for what he costs, he's well worth the investment. Of course, the issue comes down to the wages, and that's where I think we will probably find out whether or not this operation is going to happen, because Milan is happy to keep Diaz as long as Real Madrid are paying for his wages. And maybe that also kind of relaxes Diaz a little bit. Maybe, who knows? Could be. Uh, nonetheless, nonetheless, if this operation does come to fruition and Milan does get Diaz, then I think that there will be. He will have to justify his wages. Like, what is he going to want? You know, how much is he going to want to get paid? What is Diaz worth right now? Pretty much. You know, what is Diaz worth? Would you pay him 2.5? Would you pay him 3? What do you guys think? What is he worth? I think he gets somewhere around 3 million or something. I'm not sure. Uh, I know he gets somewhere around 5, but I don't know if that's gross or net. I'm assuming that is gross. I'm assuming that is gross. So I think net, he's probably getting 3 or 2.5. I mean, I think at 3 million, I would definitely do it. 3 million for Diaz after 3 years of putting his heart and soul into the team and fighting for the team, winning the Scudetto with the team. I think it's worth it. Yeah. Anyway, it should be interesting. Let's see what the schedule looks like. Jamal, man, one day you will appreciate Diaz. One day you will appreciate Diaz. Okay, so Napoli. Oh, I like this. This is a new setup. Cool. Yes, this is nicer. Nice. They updated their website. Very cool. Napoli Sassuolo tomorrow morning. Ooh, that's going to be a nice game because I think Vicha is playing, Osimhen is playing. That should be a really fun game to watch. Both teams attacking teams. Lecce Juventus. Let's see if Juventus is going to use the youngsters, because that's what everybody's calling for. We got to use the youngsters. Blah 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 blah. We got to use the youngsters. Um, I'm going to say here Napoli wins against Sassuolo, but it could be a tie, because remember, Napoli has a really tough schedule. They got Napoli Sassuolo, then they have Napoli Liverpool Napoli, then they have Atalanta Napoli, then they have Napoli Empoli, which on paper is easy for them. On paper. Then they have Napoli Udinese. Udinese is a good team. And then this is January. We're playing Salernitana. They're playing Inter. So everything is gonna everything everything was going against us since the season started, but at this point onwards, everything goes for us. The schedule is perfect for us. Because we're playing like a lot of bottom level teams. But that does mean, though, what does that mean? I want to see the last 10 games or so. Okay, let's see what our last 10 games look like. So 28, we are playing against Napoli on the 28th, decisive game. Then we're playing against Empoli, not too bad. Playing against Bologna, not too bad. What the fuck? Thanks. Oh shit! Sorry, guys. All right, so the third quarter. The third quarter is going to. Oh, sorry, guys. Give me a second. The third quarter, which starts here, 19. We start right away with Lazio. Then we have Sassuolo. Yeah, exactly how I thought. This is next. Inter. That's right. The third quarter is going to be tough. Torino. Meh. Meh. Monza. Not even that tough, really. Atalanta. It's and Fiorentina. It's it's pretty good. It's pretty balanced because you don't have a lot of them one after the other. You have tough, then you have not so tough. Tough, not so tough. Okay, so it was really just the first quarter. It was just really the first quarter of the season that was just set up really difficult for us, and we passed it with flying colors. I think the rest of this season is really well spread out for us to win it. Yeah, we should definitely win it. Go for that second star. Go for that second star. All right, let's see the table. Let's see. Where is it? Aha! I like this. Look at this. Wow, it's all new and shit. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Oh wow, wow, wow. Okay, okay. 14 goals. 26, 29. So if well, the seasons. Let's go. Let's look at all these seasons. 2022. That's right. There it is. That's the difference right there. The goal that you concede. That's the winning statistic right there again. 35. Look at Atalanta. They scored 90 goals, but Inter only conceded 35. It's math, guys. Football is mathematics. In this case, it was second team. And you see that sometimes it's the second team, but most of the time it is the first team that conceded. Look at Juve. They only conceded 30 goals. And wow, 24 goals. This is when the league was real crap. Look at where we finished. 6. This was when the league was real crap. Look at that. 27 goals again. Wow. We finished 6 again. Damn, we really sucked. Roma kept on finishing second. Man, look at that. 24 goals. What the hell? We finished 10th. Oh, my Lord. Torino finished above us. Jeez. 24 goals. That's crazy. We finished third here. This is when we still had decent players, right? This is the Montari goal. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Montari my ass. Montari my ass, guys. That Montari goal propaganda was BS. This was the truth. If you wanted to win the Scudetto this year, you had to concede 21, 20, or 19 goals. Look at that. We didn't lose one game. We lost 6. We lost 6 games. They tied many. We lost 6 games. That Montari bullshit propaganda, I will never give it any respect whatsoever. I can believe Nocerino brought it up today. Like Nocerino was doing an interview. Nocerino was doing an interview, and he said if that Montari goal would have happened, we would have won the Scudetto. No, you wouldn't have. Milan was playing really poor football, and we lost 6 games. We didn't lose against Juventus. That's the ironic thing. We didn't. These 6 games that we lost, this statistic, none of them is against Juve. Like this is against. This was against Cesena. This was against Fiorentina, against Lazio, against Napoli. It was against all the teams that finished here. Remember Cesena? We lost against Cesena, guys. We lost against Cesena. And you want to tell me that we lost the league because of Montari? Give me a break. Give me a break. Allegri was terrible back then, just as much as he's terrible right now. The season before, we lost 4 games and we conceded 24 goals. Wow, look at this. 49 goals, that's it. This was all Inter, 32 goals. So is the 26 goals. $34, $34, $33. Look at that. That's one of those anomalous years. 30, 42, 31. Just one goal. It was one goal difference. That was us, too. Ooh. We had won more games than they did. We won more games that season. It was just literally two. If we would have conceded two less, we would have won. Or if these were ones 27, 28. Yeah, this is when the league was strong. This is when the league was fucking strong. This is when nobody wanted to face Italian teams. It was this era right here. It was like, well, Juve, Milan, Inter, nope. No, thank you. The league was fucking strong here. '41, 24. Oh, this is the year we won. 24, Roma. 19 goals. Wow. Damn. They must have been pissed off. Look at this. 19. I think this is the first time I've seen that. Holy shit. But they lost quite a lot of points. They lost games. They didn't concede much, but they lost those games. That's crazy. 2002. This is when the year just before we got into the Champions League. We won the Champions League. So we finished fourth this year. Roma back then was super strong. All four of these teams back then were super strong. Super strong. Look at Verona. 23 goals, Juventus. We lost 3, Roma lost 2, 5. We lost 7 that season. Where is it? Where are we? 22. 2001. We didn't even make the Champions League. Wow. We didn't even make the Champions League. The year before, we got eliminated in the Champions League. Right. Roma, Juventus, Lazio, Parma, Inter. Wow, Parma, fourth. Was this when Parma was strong? I think it was a little bit earlier. We made the Champions League and then we got disqualified. But we lost against teams like Galatasaray, Athens. Look at this, 20 goals. Juventus conceded 20 goals, and they lost by 1 point. Wow, crazy. And this was us next. Lazio, they conceded 31 goals. We conceded 34. Lazio really felt robbed this season. They really felt robbed. I remember that. But that was Zaccheroni's magic. Oh, and this was 11th or 10th. Look at that. In 97-98, we had Boban, we had Maldini, we had Costa Curta, we had so many great players, but we finished 10th that season. I remember that. I remember those years. This was Saki's return. We finished 11th. And this is when Lippi was winning. Every season Lippi was winning. 97. And this is Capello. Yeah, this is Capello's Milan. 24 goal conceded. And this is when Ben Capello again here, I think. Yeah, that's right. 15 goal conceded. This is the famous season that Sebastiano Rossi did the record of the most amount of minutes without conceding a goal. It was this season here that Sebastiano Rossi had the record. Then Buffon broke that record. Then Buffon broke that record. Let's see. Ta 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 ta. Let me put the link in the chat. What's up, Antonio? Sembra che sia troppo occupato. Buona serata, a domani. When our national goalie lied? Goal scorer, remember that one. Okay, 93, 94. That's cool that we did this. 92, 93. Milan again. Capello is... No, this is Capello. Yeah, I think that's Capello. This is Saki. Oh, wow. No games lost. Holy shit. Only 21 goals. Oh, maybe was this... I think this was Saki. 91, 92 was Saki, right? No games lost. I think it's the only time we've seen this so far. Isn't it? I think it's the only time we've seen this stat. 0 games lost. Damn. Sampdoria, this was Vialli and Mancini's Sampdoria that made the Champions League final in 92. Then I think here's Napoli coming up, if I'm not mistaken. Well, there it is, Napoli. Only 57 goals they scored, conceded 31. We conceded less goals than they did, but we lost a lot of games that season. We lost a lot of games that season. 88, 89, Inter. Wow. 87, 88. That was Berlusconi's first year. 2 goals, only 2 lost. What? Only 14 goals conceded out of 30 games? 14 goals conceded? Damn. It's a big difference, so 30 games. Wow, 17. Crazy, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Torino's game on Sunday. Yeah, it's going to be Sunday, the last game of the bunch. It's going to be the main event. The main event. Yep. Anyway, guys, so that's really it. We've got Serie A coming up tomorrow. We spoke about that. We spoke about Milan. I think we're done. I think we're done for the night. Unless someone wants to join, but I'm pretty good. I said everything I needed to say. So I got nothing else. Nothing else for you. Let's see if Antonio wants to join. If not, I wanted to talk about the probable formation and the importance of the game, and I want to talk about that stuff. So every all the other news items are nothing really important. Nothing really important. Yeah, Shaka Toure, we spoke about him. All right, let me see if Tanya wants to join. If not, guys, we will see you on the weekend. Tomorrow, Roy, can you check what big teams Napoli played on comparison to us? They only played against us, Lazio, and Roma. Yo, what up?
What's up? How are you?
Oh, shit. Why is your phone always so super loud?
I don't know. Sorry.
How you doing, man? How's it going?
Doing well. Been busy, but yeah, it's a good Friday night.
Yeah. How you feeling about the weekend coming up?
I feel like I think honestly I'm more focused on Wednesday, but yeah, hopefully we can get maximum points. But Torino is a tough team, so
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be pretty tough. Yeah. Um, what do you think about Wednesday then?
I think Wednesday is going to be difficult, but I think that we should, we're playing at home, right? Um, we are, we have a good enough team that's fit right now. I think not fully fit, but we have enough of our players that are ready, and we shouldn't really have much excuses. We got to go and win the game, and if not, we got to tie the game. But we can't really be playing like defensively. We have to kind of just be playing with confidence.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree with Pioli rotating Kjaer and playing Gabbia. I think that's good. That's a good idea. And I agree with rotating Benacer, and I agree with rotating Giroud. And I think it's a good game for CDK.
Are you talking about the Torino game or the Champions
Yeah,
League?
the Torino game.
Okay, yeah. I want to see. I think Origi is, if he can stay healthy, is actually going to be pretty decent.
Yeah, no, I think he's going to play Origi for Torino. And I think that's a good game for Torino because we're going to need his physicality and the way he helps the team is very good. So we're going to need him And for Salzburg, Giroud should be ready for that game. His experience is probably more needed than the physicality.
Yeah, I think Origi though. I mean, Salzburg is very physical and they play very intense. They press a lot, so it depends. But yeah, last time when we played them, at the end of the game when Origi got subbed in, he actually was close to a lot of different chances. So that was
Yeah,
interesting.
I would start with Giroud. Look for those crosses, those crosses in the box, those balls in the box, and then last 30 minutes finish with Giroud with Origi, just 100 miles per hour. I think
Yeah.
that's what he's going to do.
Roy, you want to have one of those debates?
What are you talking about?
Do you want to just choose a topic to discuss?
What debate are you talking about?
No, I'm saying we can. Do you want to have one of those, or do you want to just keep it short?
No, is this something you want to say?
Um, Not necessarily. I was just thinking. I'm trying to think of some topics that we can discuss.
Oh, oh yeah, whatever you want, bro. I've actually spoken a lot. I was actually going to close, to be honest with you.
Okay,
But
I think then I don't want to hold you because it is a little bit later over here already. So,
all right, yeah. Unless there's anything you want to talk about, you know.
what other games are going on this weekend? Any interesting games?
Lecce Napoli, no Lecce Juve. I think on paper easy game for Juve. Napoli Sassuolo. I think that should be an interesting game. That could end in a tie maybe. And Napoli Sassuolo. Who else? Inter. Inter against a fairly easier team, I think. Inter against.
Yeah. Roy, thoughts on Juventus in the Champions League?
Oh, yeah. They. I have no. I think Juventus is not going to even make top four this year. At this point, I don't think they're even going to make top four. I think they're going to finish sixth or fifth, or maybe even conference. They might finish in the conference league. Um, I think it's too late for them to revive the season now, unless a miracle happens. So I think they're done. I think Lazio is going to be in the top four. Sarri knows what he's doing. He's got his team together. They're not going to be losing points left and right. While Juventus is going to keep on losing points left and right.
Yeah, I think also another team. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I think for top four, I would have Milan, Inter, Napoli booked in the top four, and then maybe Atalanta right now, or Lazio, which one of those two probably.
Yeah.
Roma has also been disappointing, not in the sense that they've gotten a lot of bad results, but they just don't really look to be a cohesive team. They don't really play an amazing brand of football.
Yeah, maybe it's yeah, they don't. It's not exciting football. I think that their strikers, their goal scorers, are underperforming really badly, and that kind of makes it seem as if their football is not good or not effective. If their strikers were performing, they'd be a pretty decent team, I'd say. But since they're not performing, the team looks really poor. I don't know if they can finish in top four this year. They have to change something. Like Abraham, I'm starting to see a lot of limits in Abraham's game. He is not. He needs to up his game from a technical standpoint, not a tactical standpoint, not necessarily a emotion. Like he puts a lot of fight in his game, but technically, I'm seeing a lot of limits.
I think that he just misses a lot of chances. So I think I would agree. Like he does make like a lot of mistakes, and you can see him like kind of wasting opportunities. That's pretty fair. Uh, I think though, like I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think he can with this, in a better run of form. He can be so much better. So I don't think he's like limited. Honestly, I'm pretty sure he's just going through a dry period, but I still think he's very good.
I like this comment here. He's just like 20% of what Osimhen is. Um, I mean, 20% is a little bit exaggerated, but I think Osimhen is definitely the better striker. I think Osimhen is one of the best in the world, actually. How do you rate Osimhen?
I think he's good, but I don't think he's that much better than Abraham, to be honest.
That Osimhen volume reminded me of the Van Basten. I thought Roman played well against Napoli. Honestly, from a tactical standpoint, I thought Roman played well against Napoli too. Like they closed them down really well. Vicha barely had anything almost. They closed them down really well. Um, but that's the thing about Napoli is when you have such an elite striking department, like you close down Vicha, but that means that means Politano is free. That means Osimhen is free. That means Osimhen is free. That means Zelinski is free. So yeah. Who are the top 5 strikers in Serie A right now? Who do you think?
Right now, number one is Lautaro for sure because he's been performing really well in the Champions League and also, just he's just pretty consistent. Probably number two. Um, I don't know because Osimhen, yes, he looks really good and he scored a nice goal, but I don't think he scored like that many goals recently. Like he scored one in the. Sorry, I cut out. He scored one goal, I think, in the Champions League. One goal against Roma, and I don't know how many goals he scored before that, but I don't know if I'd put him at number two, but he's in the top five. Vlahovic is kind of quietly scoring some goals now. Not the best goals, um, but I think Lautaro is clear number one. And then I guess the other names I'd throw in there would be Vlahovic, Osimhen, and then I'm starting to think of two more. But I mean, Immobile is injured. Um, I don't know. Milan, I mean, or Giroud is always, in terms of like what he can do, is good, but he doesn't like score a ton of goals. So I don't know if I don't know. It's hard to name the other two, but those are my top three.
Okay. So for me, number 1 is Osimhen. Number 2 is Lautaro. Number 3 is Raspadori. Number 4, hmm, maybe Giroud. Number 5, shit, I don't know. Simeone, maybe. Mm, fuck, I don't know who number 5 is. I don't put Vlahovic in
I'm
the top
pretty sure
5.
Simeone has more goals than Osimhen, does he?
Yeah, I'm not really counting the goals. I'm counting the quality of football. I'm personally not looking at it that way. I'm not really looking at how many goals they score. I'm just looking at how they're interpreting their game right now.
I mean, I agree with that perspective, but for a striker, I do think about goals. That's like their main
Well,
job.
In that case, then Arnautovic should be the number one guy.
He's not the number one. I don't think he's the number one anymore. I think he was. I mean, let me check, but
Simeone is good too. Um, yeah, I don't. Vlahovic to me is like I've never got into. I never understood why Vlahovic is considered so highly. Honestly, uh,
yeah. By the way, Arnautovic is actually the leading goal scorer by 1 goal. So I think he right now. If you say who are the best strikers right now, I think he's top 5.
I don't know. For me, yeah, he's scoring goals, but then so you have to go Immobile there too. Then
Let me check if he's number 2.
Immobile is definitely in the top five. I mean, it's impossible he's not. The guy's goal scoring machine. There's literally zero possibility Immobile is.
Hey Roy, yeah, Immobile and Lautaro are tied for
There you
second
go.
place.
Right. See,
Listen to this. So Vicha in the league has 5 goals and 3 assists.
nice,
He's tied for third place with Leao, who has 5 goals and 4 assists.
nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Vicha beats Leao in the Champions League because Vicha has some really good numbers in the Champions League. So in total, but also Leao has decent numbers. I think in total, Vicha beats Leao by one or two goal contributions because he has like a bunch of goals. He has a lot of he has a bunch of assists, a bunch of goals. But so does Leao. Leao has 2 assists and 1 goal. I think Leao has 2 assists and 1 goal. Beto is what he is. What about Beto? What he is? I don't know, guys. Beto is another one that I just don't. I don't know. Like his highlight reels, he looks really good. In his highlight reels, he looks like a. He looks like an incredible super striker. But when I see him play against us, like I see so many limits to his game, like so many limits, especially technical limits. He's all about power. Like he's all about power. But I don't know. I think you need a little bit more. Arnautovic is a baller. Arnautovic is quite a technical player. Yeah,
I like Arnautovic. He's a fun guy.
yeah, he's a crazy dude.
He's like insane. It's crazy because when United wanted to get him in the summer, and everyone was calling it like a meme. I don't know, he's actually performing really well now, so maybe they missed out.
True. Good. I didn't think about that. That's a good point. They were all they're making fun of him, but the guy now is top of Serie. I wonder if they think about it. I wonder what you think about it. What you want to see Beto? As Beto's highlights, he looks like he's going to be the next. I don't know, Ronaldo. But when you see him play a full game, not Ronaldo, but like more like Adriano. Remember Adriano? Uh, uh, what do you think of Beto?
I think he's a solid striker. I mean, yeah, he's not gonna like you said, he's mainly just power, but I mean, he definitely is one of those players where, for a team like Udinese, where they kind of some will play on the counter sometimes. I guess now they're playing better than they used to, but he's like perfect because I mean, against us, you saw he scored against us like just on one counter opportunity. He was able to just power through our defense and get that opportunity and score. So I think he's useful and he's a solid player. I don't think I mean, he could play on like some Champions League lower level, like maybe pot or third place group stage teams, maybe. But I don't think he's like a round of 16 Champions League striker anytime soon. So that's kind of like what I think about him.
Okay, well, there's a video that came out 2 weeks ago from Brazil Scout. So we'll look at him, but yeah, not. I do like Sesko. Sesko's interesting.
He's a good player.
Yeah, for his age, he's quite insane for his age. Well, his highlights are money. Markanoff used to be in the EPL for Stoke City and West Ham, and he wasn't the greatest. Hence, why Man United fans were hating. How are your EPL teams doing?
Fantastic. City will eventually become first. That's all I really. That's the only team I cheer for.
Are you really following it, or are you just joking?
Well, I've been too busy to follow many leagues, honestly. But I've just been. But I do know that. I mean, City are like qualified, and Arsenal are still first. Arsenal lost in the Europa League to PSV. Pretty interesting. Um, and yeah, but I haven't really been following all the league games.
Arsenal lost, huh? They're playing good football too. PSV must be good.
Yeah.
PSV must be good. Pass success rate 56%. It's really poor. What do you think of this story with Ronaldo maybe joining Milan because his agent wants to take him?
That would be fantastic.
Oh yeah?
I'm a big fan of that. I know a lot of people would disagree, but
You'd want to see that?
yeah, because he can provide that extra quality in the attack that would allow us to be so prolific.
Put Giroud on the bench?
Rotate.
Okay.
Because we play good football, and having him on the team would, I think, you saw what he did in the Serie A, like when he was on Juventus. If you put him on a team like Milan that creates all the opportunities, he's gonna score. He can finish. So
True. I wouldn't mind him coming to Milan ever, actually. But if he comes to Milan, when would it be? Not January, because Ibrahimovic is back in January.
yeah, and also his wages are a big problem. So I don't know.
In January, we are going to have Ibrahimovic. How long do you think he's going to last? How many games?
I don't know, but I hope if we do qualify, past the group stage, I mean he would be so clutch in the Champions League.
Would he though?
Yes, I mean I'm sorry, but when he plays, I can't describe it. Like we just play more fluid. He holds the ball up brilliantly, and also his heading ability, like it just seems like it's better than any striker I've seen. Like from most strikers, in terms of his aerial ability, it's unbelievable.
No, I'm not sleeping on this guy. I'm not sleeping on this guy. I understand his game, but it's, I've seen him play like
Wait, who are you talking about?
Beto.
Oh, that's not what I'm talking about.
I know, I know, but SSB is saying that I'm sleeping on this guy. Like, as I said, his highlights look good. I mean, they don't look. They look good. Yeah, sure, they look good. But like, I've seen him play against us, and he looks like there's a lot of limits to his game. Like his layoff game is really poor. His control of the ball is really uncoordinated. His Passing is really poor. Like he makes a lot of mistakes in the passes. Um, he needs to improve a lot of aspect of his game from a technical standpoint in order to be successful at a big club like Milan. Um, but what he has for him is just this incredible power. You can see that he has incredible power, and he likes to run into space. Really, he does that well. He's got good timing when he runs into space. You can see here the acceleration is really good. But how many times a game does he need to do that? Most of the game, he needs to stop the ball and pass the ball. If you that's 90% of a football game. You stop the ball, you pass the ball. If you can't do the 90% well, then that 10% kind of becomes redundant. Beto will score more goals in Premier than Serie A, in my opinion. He kind of does. He is more of a Premier League player. Yeah, I see that. I see that. Like he does have that. Everything is super fast, intense, and but it's not like it's not done brilliantly. Like it's good. Yeah. What we need is a genius like Ibrahimovic that, like what Antonio was saying, that when the team has a ball, everything is more fluid, everything is precise, everything is straight, everything is makes sense, everything is done crisp and clean, and like we need that, you know. This idea of power is okay. Sure, if you're awesome and you play with power and you're really good. Skamaka, that would have been the guy. That would have been the guy. You disagree, right, Antonio?
I mean, he's solid, but I don't think he's like amazing. I don't know.
Skamaka's hold-up play is the best there is. The best there is. Uh, yeah. The only thing about Skamaka is something about his mentality. He needs to come out of his get out of his shell a little bit.
Roy, I think I'm gonna head out. It's
All right,
getting
man.
later.
All right.
Nice talking to you. Maybe I can jump in over the weekend if you want.
All right. Cool. Later.
See ya.
Peace. Um. Yeah, Skamaka would have been ideal under the tutelage of Ibrahimovic. So, for example, if you see Skamaka, you can see like how just more coordinated he is in his passing and his stops and his goals. Everything is just very coordinated, very composed. You can see he's got all the touches. See, look at that precision passing right there, right in that channel. Yeah, he's got the nice play in the middle of the park like that. Very precise, very 1-2 touch cut. Everything done very in a very short, small space. Everything is very composed. If you want to play precise football, that's how you got to be. And having a striker that can do that makes you play very precise football, very pretty football. Uh, of course, Skamaka, yeah, he needs to show that he can be a leader or something like that. But you see these layoffs like that with the back heel just opening him up like that. That's very like technical, precise stuff. Eyes back of the head, kind of like he's got the radar. Very technical feet. The movements are very technical. The goals are out of this world. Good, and he doesn't have the power Beto has. I mean, I don't know how many players do have the power that Beto has, but look at his feet. Football is that. That is football. That is football. What he did right there. That is football. What you do with your feet. That is football. And when you have that, then you play precise football. It's mathematics. 1+1 = 2. It's very simple. And as a center forward, he is the one with the best feet. Not necessarily the best mentality, though, because again, there's something about him that. Well, you guys remember this goal against us. But also, he's not 195 getting better in every game. I still can't believe he chose to go West Ham. Yeah, he needs to do more at West Ham, though. What, he scored only a few goals. He needs to score more goals. But like, this is the perfect guy, I think, to replace Ibrahimovic and continue that kind of style of play. It would have been this guy. But he needs to prove. I think he wouldn't have shined right away if he came to Milan. He would be similar to De Cadler. Like the beginning would be rough for him. I feel like his not he doesn't have a very strong personality. I feel he doesn't have the super. But once he gets comfortable, then it's fine. But at Milano, he would have done well. He would have thrived. Yeah, yeah. If Milan can get the opportunity to get him, I think they definitely should. They definitely should. Maybe in England he's going to learn how to be more intense, etc., be even more precise, etc. And then he comes back to Italy and he comes back to us. That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. But the other interesting player, though, okay, so when it comes to hold up play and just feet, like you have an offensive regista here, right? He's an offensive regista. But the other player that is interesting, which is different, not like this, a little bit more, let's say, more striker rather than hold up play, is Jonathan David. Jonathan David is interesting because Jonathan David could want a move. He could want to move, and he was linked to Milan again. And let's see, I think he'd be a very good candidate as well. Yeah. And actually, as far as numbers, he had the same numbers as Kamaka last year. He scored the same amount of goals in the domestic league. Yeah. I think he would be a very interesting candidate. Scabacchi and Raspadori and Cava. Oh my God. Mamma mia, ragazzi. That would be unstoppable. That would be calcio champagne. Calcio champagne. That would be too much. That'll be really good. I only look at Jonathan Little highlights. Most of the CONCACAF teams he played against are Serie B level. Yes, national team you can't judge him for sure at that level. Yeah, it's like playing against Monza, playing you know Jo- Jonathan is cracked. What do you mean by that? So his game is different. It's more you can see like he likes to bring that forward inertia, right? But he's got some wicked feet. Like he does these kind of plays. So he sets you up too. He sets you up as well. But he's a player that likes to, I think, play more into space. He doesn't come and meet the ball in the midfield. He looks more like a player that, for the like his, he likes to run into space, etc., etc. Yeah, and he's fast. He's very rapid too. Great control here by this player. I think he could be a good candidate. You know, I mean, getting Skamaka now, I think, is very difficult. It'd be very difficult. But Jonathan David might want to leave Lille. You know what? Jonathan David is similar to Origi in his forward style, but Jonathan David is more looks for the goal more. He looks with the assist and with the goals. He's looking more for the goal. While Origi is more going to help the team any way he can, kind of player. That's a nice one too with what's his name, Sanchez. He's really good. Do you know Garner gamer language? You guys are boomers. I think Jonathan can play number 10 as well. I can see him driving back to the midfield and carrying the ball forward. Yeah, I mean he could be the next player coming to Milan. It could be that's one of the more probable things we might see, just because yeah, like he's ready for a move. He's going to be ready for a move. I think it's going to be very strange to see him stay at Lille for another season. I think that would be strange. That'd be like almost a Berardi kind of thing. Like, you know, let's see what's his deal right now. Okay, 22, super young, super young. He's having a good season. He's having a good season. 9 goals, 3 assists, solid out of 12 games. So he has one. His goal contribution is 101% or 110%. That's excellent. 89 minutes per game. Scoring frequency every 118 minutes. Must have scored a bunch of braces. Good numbers from him. Yeah, I think this guy is ready soon. He's ready to make a move. We might snatch him up. Let's see. Let's see. Skamaka, I don't think he's doing as good. 692. 5 played, started 2. He's not playing. 35 minutes per game. 2 goals. Accuracy per game, opposition half 70%. Long balls. Goal conversion. Yeah, he needs to break into the team. He needs to break into the team and become one of the leaders of the team, because Jonathan Davis obviously is one of the leaders. Accuracy per game, 85%. Opposition half, 82%. These are great numbers. Own half, 91%. And yes, this means simple passes, but it also means complicated passes too. One-touch passes, 1-2s, etc., etc. Accuracy per game, 85%. 38.3 touches per game, more or less, average. For a striker, it's not bad. Interceptions per game. Successful dribbles, 46%. Some little not incredible. Possession lost, 8.3. Well, yeah, but he scores. He scores and he gets the assists. I think this is a very good candidate. Very good candidate for AC Milan. Didn't he win league with Lille? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he did. I think David was a Luis Campos player when Campos was a Lille. He might bring David over to PSG once Messi leaves. Yes. Yeah, that can definitely happen. That can definitely happen. We saw it already happen. And by the way, I think PSG is going to win the Champions League. I was watching the highlights of PSG Maccabi Haifa, and they have so much quality. They have a never-ending amount of quality. Like, they don't have a lot of quality when it comes to the second lines, the offensive second lines, but the quality in the midfield is just out of this world. Verratti, Vitinha, David Sanchez, Fabian Luiz, and that's just out of this world quality. That's out of this world quality. So midfield wise, they have to be the best team in Europe, as far as the midfield goes. As far as quality goes, just pure quality. They're probably going to dominate every game that they play with a midfield like that. Yeah, they might be a problem. Napoli has overall a better not off. Well, the offensive line, of course, nothing compares to PSG right now. Neymar, Messi, Mbappe is the best offensive line in football today. No doubt about it. You'd be an idiot to say otherwise. And they're doing exactly what Neymar, Messi, and Suarez did at Barcelona. They're helping each other score goals after goals. I think Messi has like 10 assists, 8 goals. Neymar has 8 assists, 10 goals. Mbappe has 14 goals and 2 assists. Who is Messi assisting it to? Messi is giving the ball to Neymar. Messi is giving the ball to Mbappe. Who is Neymar assisting it to? Neymar is giving the ball to Messi. Neymar is giving the ball to Mbappe. Mbappe finishes them all. Great finishing, great. So as far as that offensive line, combined with the quality of the midfield, PSG has to be the favorite. The favorite. They have to be the favorite. Defensively, I don't know. Maybe that can screw them. Obviously, they have Donnarumma. At this point, Donnarumma must be a top goalkeeper at this point. I mean, We knew he was going to be a top goalkeeper, but he probably has arrived. I don't know. Defensively, well, let me see what their defense is. Okay, Marquinhos, Sergio Ramos, Hakimi. Yeah, this team is so much quality. Like these, so much quality. It's crazy the amount of quality this team has. This team is like a shiny diamond. Look at that midfield, guys. Mamma mia! Look at that fucking midfield, guys. Nobody's gonna take the ball from these guys. Nobody's gonna take the ball from them. Nobody's gonna take the ball from these guys. 65 possession. Like if these guys want, like these guys can. Nobody's gonna take the ball from them. I think defensively, maybe they're missing something here. Obviously, Hakimi is great, but that midfield is just out of this world. That has to be the best midfield in Europe. It has to be. Look at that. Vitinha, Marco Verratti, Ruiz, Neymar, Kylian Leon. Like that fucking quartet right there. And if they want, they put Sanchez in there. Bro, this is like a video game. That's a video game. That is a video game. Well, this is when they tied against Benfica. Benfica, really strong team, Benfica. Okay, they played in a 3-4-2-1. Neymar, Mbappé, Pablo Sarabia. So you see, like, they have Soler, Pablo Sarabia. When it comes to the second lines, Napoli has better second lines. Like, Napoli actually, in total, has a better depth, offensive depth than PSG. And those are good players, like Hugo Ekitike. These are good players, but they're not the level of the Napoli players. We're not the level of the Napoli players. Wow, the amount of quality of this team. So I think they're going to be favorites to win the Champions League. I think they're going to be favorites. Um, I mean, I guess it'll depend on other factors too. Like if Napoli plays PSG today, I feel like it's going to be a pretty close match. Actually, it's not going to be a domination from like it's going to be a 50-50, and maybe Napoli can pull it off, but you can't. The thing is that Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, like they're most likely going to score a goal on you. You know, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like it's that offensive line right there. You have three bazookas pointing at you. You know, you got three nuclear missiles pointing at you. Some teams only have one. Some teams have two. Sorry, I like Napoli to midfield better than Paris. Look, Napoli can also win the Champions League, guys. They can do it. They actually can. But PSG just has a lot of quality. Yeah, the defense is something that maybe they don't have a lot of strength in. I feel. I feel like the defense is a little bit weak. The whole world's second team is Napoli. They have something PSG will never have. The spirit you talk about that Milan has. Uh, that is true. That is true. But there is a problem. There is a problem. What I saw from now, this could be because they played against an easier team, but what I saw from PSG was that Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar have synergy, and they're playing for each other. These guys are playing for each other. Their numbers are so high because they play for each other. Um, Now we weren't really seeing that the previous years. We weren't really seeing that, but now we're starting to see it. They have amalgamated, and they're playing for each other. So it's a very tough trio to keep at bay. Yeah, you can play great, you can play really good, but if Neymar and Mbappe and PS and Messi start to play together, they'll do a few tricks here, one twos, through ball here, through ball there. They're gonna catch you. They're gonna catch you. Eventually, they're gonna catch you. You have to have you have to be perfect defensively. You have to be more than perfect. You have to fight like hell against those three players. If when you have three players like that and they just play for themselves, then it doesn't work. Then it doesn't matter. But when those guys get together and play like a unit, then it's very difficult. Then it's just very difficult. So I think if not, I think any team that will face PSG, if they catch that trio playing like that, it's going to be very difficult for any team in Europe. Any team. I mean, it's not. It's not. It's Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe are not. They're. It's real. They are real. Okay, those guys play football at a super high level, elite level. All three of them, super elite level. You have. It's like having three Vicevarasquilias. It's like having three of them. You know what I mean? Um. So it is what it is. The synergy has improved up front and in midfield. They're playing triangles and behind messing, so it's peak for you defending that. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. PSG's like that boxer who has a one punch KO power. They don't need to be perfect, just one punch. Yes, that is it. Uh they can catch you anytime. You can create chances with them. You have to take your chances. That's the thing. Like I think that the reason why I say it's a 50-50 game is because if you play against them, you can score against them. I don't think that defense is super strong, but it's very experienced. It's a very experienced defense. It's going to be tough. Whoever faces PSG is going to be tough. Uh, I think this is how I feel today. Maybe in a few weeks it'll be different after we see how the teams evolve and also after the World Cup. After the World Cup, if you ask me today, the teams that I think can win the Champions League, from what I've seen, I'll put PSG at one. I'll put Napoli at two, but I'll put Bayern up there, just really close to Napoli. Like just Bayern and Napoli. That's a more balanced game. That's a more balanced game. That's a more balanced game. But PSG is tough, 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 tough. Man City, it's Guardiola ball. Okay, so it's keep. But you got to score. They do have their scorer now, so they don't have an excuse. They don't have an excuse. Madrid can always come back. Madrid has the experience, has the know-how, has the heart, has the spirit, has knows they know how to win games. So watch out for them. They can outplay you without playing better than you. That's crazy. That's a level of football that is just sensei level of football. When you outplay a team without outplaying them. Like that's how Real Madrid won the Champions League last year. They outplayed their teams without outplaying them, which was that's sensei level. So I'm worried that trio Neymar, Mbappe, Messi is going to go all in this year. Roy, who do you think Italian defenders age better than other countries? Spain, Ramos, and Piqué aging horribly. So why do you think Italian defend? I don't know if Italian defenders age better. Uh, well, I guess you can make the case with Chiellini and Maldini. I don't know. I've never felt that Italian defenders age better. I've never felt that. I've never seen that. All defenders start to lose something around 35, 36, 34 is probably the last year of their best athletic years, right? And then after that, it's more the positioning, the IQ, the personality, the charisma. But around 35, 36, you lose your joint, your cartilages are all fucked. Your joints are not as strong anymore. You're stronger. You're stronger. Your muscles get stronger, but your cartilages get weaker, and your tendons get torn up, and now that well-oiled machine that was your body now is starting to creak here and there. But muscles you get stronger. You get stronger. When you talk to fans of other leagues, they say Italian defenders age better. Maybe it's just a stereotype. I don't know. I've never noticed that. Like his perception about Italian defenders. Maybe it's because Maldini, Chiellini, Cannavaro, these guys. But in general, well, even Costa Curta went for quite a long time. Maybe it comes down to the football in Italy that it allows you to play at an older age, maybe because um, you know, like in England, they just run the whole fucking time. Right? Everything is like run, 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 run. Everything is a throw in. Is like right away. Bah, 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 bah. Like it's like everything is just a million miles per hour for no reason. By the way, point I don't know. It's like they're high on chemicals. You don't need to play football that way, and playing football that way doesn't make sense actually. But it's fun to watch. Whatever. In England, they like it. They love it. Good games. They're good battles. But maybe in England it's more difficult to get. I think in Spain you'd think that probably that's where players can play at the especially especially midfielders and strikers can get to a much older age in Spain. Yeah, maybe in Spain. I would say that Spain you probably age a lot more, a lot better. If you're, I don't know, guys. I have no fucking. I've never even thought about this shit. English players age bad. Rooney is younger than CR7, and he looks like he's in his 50s right now. Yeah. Well, to be fair, CR7 is a genetic freak. CR7 is a genetic freak. Let's check. Let's do this exercise with the other teams as well. So, yeah, when I see this team here, guys, when I see PSG and I look at, I don't know, let's look at this formation here. What was this formation? Well, those three, Fabian Ruiz, Marco Verratti, and Renato Sanchez, and Vitinha, I see like, okay, that's probably the peak right there. When we look at Napoli instead, let's look at them against Roma. So you have, yeah, that offense is fucking kick ass, though. That offense is super kick ass. Like that's the thing. Like this offense is gonna break you down. That offense is gonna break you down. And these players, Zelinski, Lobotka, they're gonna break you down. Ndombele is really good, but Anguissa, you put Zelinski, Lobotka, and Gisa there. I mean, that's par to par. That is par to par as far as quality goes. Zelinski is not anything less than Sanchez is, and Anguissa is better than Fabian Ruiz. The only difference there is Verratti. Verratti is, I mean, Lobotka is perfect, but Verratti is maybe right after Modric is number two. So yeah, it's a 50-50 game because Vicha, Osimhen, Lozano, Politano, Raspadori, Simeone, any one of those guys is going to hurt you. They don't care who they're playing against. Napoli PSG should be the final of the Champions League. Napoli PSG should be the final of the Champions League. Let's see what Man City looks like. They tied, let's see, against okay. Phil Foden, Rodri, and they usually have KDB, Mahrez. That's a lot of quality too. Cancelo. Here. John Stones, Ruben Diaz. That's like, okay, I know Nathan Ake, and I've seen Ruben Diaz, and I definitely know John Stones. Like, that is very weak, I think. That is weak. I knew there was a weakness to this team. I could feel it. I always felt it. This is weak, 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 weak. These guys don't know how to build teams. I knew there was a weakness here. Laporte. I mean, Cancelo's really good. Ederson's good. De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva. I mean, they have a lot of quality here too. Yeah. Grealish, Haaland, Mirad. It's this. As far as quality, Napoli has more quality up top, but Haaland is the difference maker. Haaland is the difference maker. And then you have De Bruyne that kind of does a little bit of everything, but Jack Grealish and Myriad, they would be rotational players at Napoli. Maybe Mahrez, not so much. But yeah, I mean, look at their ratings. They have the poorest ratings here in this game. They're not two players that really put fear. Let's check out Bayern. I want to see Bayern. I like Champions League. Now that we're back in the Champions League and we're starting to become contenders again and we're beginning our journey, now I'm starting to look at all the other teams as well. And I'm not focusing on just Serie A, but I want to know who our opponents are going to be in Europe, you know? So that's one of the cool things about Milan being in the Champions League. This Musiala kid is really good. Mane really good. Gnabry really good. He is okay. Kimmich good. Good. This team is better than Man City, I think. I think this is a better team than Man City. I think it's a more balanced team than Man City. Maybe Haaland is the difference. This team here, Busquets, Frankie De Jong, this midfield is awful. This is just like ugly football midfield. This is ugly football midfield. Pedri, Lewandowski. This is I don't know what Nathan sees in this team. I really don't. I don't see what Nathan is seeing. They're not first. Well, let's see how long that lasts. Let's see how long that lasts. But this is a very good team. Yeah, maybe they're missing something up here. But from what, and they also have Hernandez brother. Like, this is a little bit more of a balanced team. Let's see what Real Madrid looks like. Real Madrid. They lost against Leipzig, and we'll check out what Leipzig looks like too. They have Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku, Andre Silva, Slobozlai. Wow, that's good quality here. Damn. Slobozlai and Nkunku. Nice 4-2-3-1. Not too very familiar with all these other players. I know Silva, I know Slobozlai, I know Nkunku. Not very familiar with other players, but I know this team usually produces good football. Wow, look at this. Real Madrid played with 4-2-3-1 as well. Okay, Rudiger. Wow, strange position for Rudiger. This Real Madrid team here, without Modric, without Benzema, does not look as strong. I think if I feel like, well, yeah, I guess the result shows it. I guess this result shows it. It feels like you take out Modric, you take out Benzema, it's not the same team, and the result, I guess, shows it. But let's see what they looked like here against Sevilla. Sevilla. Valverde, Rodrigo, 20. Okay, they look better in a 4-3-3. They don't look good in a 4-2-3-1. They look much better in a 4-3-3. And that's a pretty balanced team. Chomani is really good. Really good. This midfield is really good. Like, this midfield is genius level midfield because of Modric and Tony Cruz. But Chomani brings in a physicality and a grit that is important. So it's a very nicely balanced team. This is Carlo Ancelotti at his prime. Engineering a very perfectly balanced midfield. Very nice. They definitely need something more here, Real Madrid. Like, they need something more there. The defense is good. Defense is good. Defense is good. What about? Let me see Inter. What vibes does Inter give? Acerbi. Darmian. It's hard to take this team seriously, honestly. I don't know, maybe it's because they're the cousins, so it's hard to take this team seriously with Acerbi and Darmian. Maybe I'm not giving them enough credit. Correa not having a great season. The strength here is really Barella. Like, he's really it. Barella, Çalhanoğlu, Brozovic. If they have Barella, Çalhanoğlu, Brozovic, That's a super good midfield. And Dimarco is really good. Dumfries. Okay, so if you have Dimarco, Çalhanoğlu is here, Brozovic there, Barella here, and Dumfries over here, and then we're talking, you know. And then up here you have Lautaro and Lukaku. Now that's a team and a half. And here you have Bastoni, De Vrij, Skriniar. Now that's a super team. If you have Bastoni, De Vrij, Skriniar, uh, Dumfries, Barella, Brozovic, Çalhanoğlu, and Dimarco, Lukaku, Martinez, that team is a tough team to beat. That team will hurt you. This team like this, it's no wonder they got scored 3 goals. No wonder. No wonder. Let's look at Tottenham. They have 5 world-class players. It's hilarious. All right. Look at Tottenham's form. Poor form. They lost against Man U. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. They even lost against Man U. Mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. I'm not too familiar with Doherty. I know Christian Romero. I think I know these guys. Aren't these guys in the English national team? I think these guys are, right? I've seen this guy before. Is he? I've seen him in the. Did I see this guy in the English national team? Ben Davis. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. That's the French national goalkeeper, Bissouma. That is Mali, 26 years old. Wow, these are really good numbers. 89% accuracy in opposition half, 92% in own half, 91% total. These are very good numbers. Okay. Central midfielder. Okay, I know Betancourt. I know Perisic. I know Kane. I know Son. Who's this guy? '27. They have a lot of players that are. They don't have. It's not a young team. Yeah, it's not a young team. That defense is all 28, 29. It's kind of like Inter. Similar to Inter. 3 goals, 1 assist, 90% accuracy. Wow. They have a lot of. They play a lot of accurate football. These are the midfielders. I know Betancourt is very accurate too. So, do they play possession football? Oh, they're third. Okay, so they're playing good football. Okay. Yeah, that's a really good run from Arsenal. Really good run. Conte plays defensive pragmatic football. Conte eye for talented suspect. All crap. And Davis. I wasn't on him channel every day, and we're trying to work out if Paratic is a fraud. He is. He is. Sporting could have scored 4 goals against him in own goal. Okay. I mean, yeah, it is Conte. Conte ball. This is the guy they want to give us instead of Leo Martinelli. Give me a break. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Let's check out Liverpool. We might face them. If we finish second and they finish first, we might face Liverpool. Let's see who they played with last game. Darwin Núñez. Wow. Oh, they changed it up. Look at fucking Klopp. Changed it up. So he's playing with 4. I guess he feels like Darwin Núñez can't do the lone striker. Interesting. That midfield is not a midfield that puts a lot of fear in the eyes of anybody, really, right? They have Liverpool has a problem with the midfield. This midfield is not a scary midfield. That's where their problem is this time around. I mean, Darwin Núñez is kind of like CDK from what I'm seeing. He's kind of like CDK, still has to adapt, grow muscles and personality, but he is scoring goals. Wow, look at this. He's playing with a 2 and 4-4-2 now. This midfield looks better. That's a nice midfield. This is a nice midfield. Put Fabinho here instead of Henderson. That's a nice midfield. Against Manchester City, they beat Man City. Wow. Wow. Conte still hasn't worked out the players for the future. Can help you win in the present. He went to Arturo Vidal. What the fuck? Crazy. All right. At what you call it? At Inter. What the fuck is going on here? Okay, so look at this. He played the 4. Every game is a different formation. Wow. Klopp. 4-2-3-1. Oh my God. How did they win? Really? How did Man City lose this? Man City is fraud. Fraudness. Fabinho, Thiago Alcantara is a perfect double pivot, though. That is a perfect double pivot. Like in a double pivot, that is exactly what you want. Fabinho, Thiago Alcantara, that is a perfect. That's how we should play every game. 4-2-3-1. You can put Salah where Harvey Elliott is, Darwin Núñez where Salah is, and I guess Diego Jota. But interesting information. Look at this. Gundogan, De Bruyne, Haaland, Silva, Rodri, Cancelo, Foden. Wow, Foden playing there in that position? Guardiola did say that Foden can play in almost any position. Almost any position. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Roy, Liverpool played defensive football and the defense locked up Haaland in that game. Take away Haaland's space and it's a different game. I mean, it does make sense. I mean, Man City is not a team that you saw that. Oh, Jurgen Klopp got a red card. He got a red card. That's funny. That is funny. That is funny. All right, what are the other teams that we could be facing? We could be facing. Benfica, maybe? Yes, we could be facing Benfica, maybe, yeah. Oh, I haven't lost a game in a long time. Joao Mario, Rafa C. This guy and Enzo Fernandez. Okay, I'm not very familiar with these players. Gonzalo Ramos, don't really know him. Yeah, I'm not very familiar with these players. I'm familiar with Joao Mario. I'm familiar with Enzo Fernandez. I still gotta see what these guys, how they play, etc. I know Juventus, and I can tell you that formation, you shouldn't be losing any games with that formation. With that formation, you should be winning most games with those players in that formation. The problem is, when they have the ball, they have no clue what to do with it because Allegri does not coach. Enzo Fernandez, yeah, he was going to be. Milan almost got him. Let's go to Milan. AC Milan. I miss Mike Magnan. Magic Mike. Okay, this was our last formation right here. Kalulu, Kjaer, Gabbia, you put Tomori there. Kalulu, Kjaer, Tomori, Theo Hernandez, Mike Magnan, top level defense. Sandro Tonali, Benacer, I think top level. I think so. Tonali is soon going to be a national team starter. I mean, it's just a matter of time. Benacer is already there. Leao, top level. Charles de Cadler, not yet, but he's going to get there. And that's it. That's it. Giroud, yeah, top level. Let's say he's top level. Origi is top level. I don't know. In my opinion, maybe. Rebic top level. I can't believe Rebic got 100. He just got 100 games for Milan, and he's been longer in this team longer than Leao. Leao got 100 games last year. That makes no sense to me. Is he? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Is Diaz a top player? I know they're all top players in Italy. Can they become top players in Europe? Prove it. Prove it. Show it to me. Prove it. Prove it. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. That was good. We had a good chit chat. We kind of explored the teams. Looking forward to this weekend. It should be a good weekend. Should be a lot of fun. Napoli tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. here. I might be able to catch it. Then it's Lecce Juventus. Then it's Inter against someone else. Inter. Who's Inter playing tomorrow? Inter is playing Sampdoria. Anyway, all three teams that are in the top four, top five, top six. The European teams are looking for European spots, so it should be good. Then Sunday, a lot of the lower level club teams playing from mid of the table in relegation. Of course, Roma is playing, but then it's Milan Torino at night. We'll definitely do a watch along for that, as always, and we might do some live tomorrow during the Serie A games. All right, I'll do one more. I'll check out the Salzburg, and then I'll close. Let's, see how they set up when they played last game. Jorginho Kovacic is a nice little pair. It's a good, lot of quality there in midfield. Pulisic, I think Pulisic is playing out of position. I don't think that position is really his position. I don't think that's even Sterling's position. Like, Sterling does not play in that position. Yeah, like these players, Salzburg players, I saw them against. It reminds me of Atalanta. They kind of remind me of Atalanta. Maybe a little bit less, actually. I would say Atalanta is a little bit tougher. I would say. I mean, the Atalanta maybe of not this year's Atalanta, maybe the Atalanta of 2 years ago. The same Atalanta that we played at the end of the season. They kind of remind me of them. Good team that if you don't take seriously, they're going to beat you and they're going to embarrass you. But a team that if you go in there with the right mindset, right mentality, and you play with confidence and you prepare the game well so that they don't exploit those spaces on the sides. Because, man, I saw that game again, Milan Zagreb, and the space between our right winger and our right fullback, was like half a field. So much space in that area, and in the space between Leao and Theo Hernandez was also some, or whoever was there to more Gabi or Chiara. Just so much space, so much space. So Pioli needs to be careful there. He needs to cover the spaces right here, this area and that area, there where you see these areas where there are no bodies, right? He has to cover this area and that area. He has to figure that out, and then we're good. We are good. Big final coming up. Big final coming up. Okafor is good. Chukwu. Wow, look at this name. Chukwubuike Adamu. Chukwubuike. That's a crazy name. That's almost like Kavara Scalia. Chukwubuike. Where's he from? Austrian, but where's he originally from? Chukwubuike. Crazy. All right, guys. We'll see you on the weekend. Have a good one. Peace out. Forza Milan, as always. Alla prossima.